Screen actors, this video is all about acting as a business. It's not about headshots, acting types, or agents. This one is designed to help you get 100% clear about what you really want as an actor. Do you want fame or do you want artistic expression? Do you want to be a celebrity or an artist? I'm Louis DiBianco and this is my channel, Screen Acting Success. This is where you come every Friday to find out more tips, techniques, and secrets that will help you to become a confident, compelling, working actor. Everything that you learn here is something that I learned in the real world. This is not theory. This is stuff that actually works. And I learned it by being in front of the camera for more than 40 years and by training actors and watching them go on to become confident, successful, working actors. If this is your first time on this channel, then definitely click subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Acting is a business. Now we're going to talk about some stuff that may sound very harsh, but it's true. And actually, when you get it, it's not harsh at all. It's actually empowering. Because we're going to talk about acting as a business, we're going to talk about actors as products. Once you decide that you're in the acting business, then you've made a choice to see yourself as a product. So let's start by looking at actual things, not people. Real products in the real world. Here is a Lamborghini, and it can be yours today for only $3,600,000. Is that a little outside of your budget? Okay. How about this perfectly wonderful BMW Series 4? This you can grab right away for only $60,845. Still a little too high? This car is a perfectly good car, nothing to be ashamed of. It'll get you from A to B. It's a Nissan Versa, and it's only $14,930. By the way, these prices are going to vary depending on where you live and when you see this video. So, how are the values of things determined? I mean, sure, we all agree that a Lamborghini is, one of the ultimates of cars. Is there anything wrong with the BMW? Is a BMW worse than? Is there something that it's lacking? No. So then, what determines the huge difference in price? The answer is perception. Just perception. And perception of things and products and value change. They change with many factors in society. To really get a clear picture of this, let's talk about tulips. How much would you pay for a single tulip? Would you pay $1? How about $10? $100? If I asked you for $1,000 for a tulip, would you give it to me? Or what about $10,000? I'm crazy, right? Well, have you ever heard about a period in history called Tulip Mania? If you haven't, it's fascinating. And there was even a feature film made about it called Tulip Fever. Look it up. Tulip Mania happened in Holland in the 1600s. And for a whole wide variety of reasons, the perception of tulips kept changing and they became more and more valuable. So let me ask you this. Would you trade a mansion for a tulip? I mean, that's completely nuts, right? Well, at the height of the tulip mania in Holland, a tulip got as much as 10,000 guilders, which was equal to the price of a mansion on the Grand Canal in Amsterdam. Wild, isn't it? No rhyme or reason for it other than perception changing. So what does this have to do with acting? You'll see in a moment. Now we're going to continue with this idea that an actor is a product. Let's look at today's world. Now we're going to look at three actors and who are working today, and let's see how they measure up against the cars that we just looked at. First one is Dwayne Johnson. What does he get for one movie? Did you guess 84 million? Because if you did, you're right. The next one is Meryl Streep. Wonderful, brilliant, award-winning actress. She doesn't get 84 million. She will take home a salary of 20 million for one movie. Not bad. Would you say no to that? How about Mark Ruffalo? This is a wonderful, brilliant, versatile actor, an absolute chameleon. And he gets around 2 million per movie. Now, these salaries are going to vary depending on when you see this video, but as I'm making it, they're pretty accurate. So once again, we're going to say that those salaries reflect the quality of these people as actors, or do they reflect a perception in the world and in the acting business? Well, let's talk about The Rock for a moment. And by the way, I'm not making a statement about any of these people being better than each other. I think they're all wonderful. I think that The Rock gets paid 84 million, and he deserves it in this marketplace. He gives the world what it wants, and then he gets a financial reward for it. But let me ask you this. Do you think that The Rock got into acting by going to acting classes? Those of you who know anything about his background know that he became famous as a wrestler, a world-famous wrestler who had a fantastic work ethic. And that made him a very attractive media personality. So now you might be thinking, okay, so if he didn't study acting and he gets 84 million, then how should people, would you imagine, get rewarded or get acting jobs? What should be the criteria? Should be. Should is the operative word here. Well, it should be, I guess, according to the degree of acting talent, how well the actor auditions, and based on those two factors, how good or great their agent is. But now let's look at the marketplace and the business world, the acting as a business, and how do people get rewarded financially for being on the big screen? Number one, they are big box office. They make the producers, the money people, lots of money on the films that they star in. Number two, related to number one, the people in the marketplace absolutely love them. They are in great demand. And number three, they're unique. Let's face it, there aren't too many people who physically can compete with Dwayne Johnson. His height, the handsomeness of his face, the shape of his face, the energy that radiates off of him physically on screen. He is not up against many, many other people of his type. and the man is so comfortable in front of the camera. So that's his uniqueness. Let's say that in the marketplace, in the business of acting, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is a tulip. While we're on the topic of uniqueness, let's talk about another wonderful actor, screen personality, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Arnold at one time used to be the tulip. He still gets really good money for being in a movie, but he doesn't get paid what Dwayne Johnson gets today. Now, here's what's interesting about Arnold. When he first came on the scene, he had made a decision that he was going to be one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid actors of all time. And when he first said that on public television, I think it might have been either on Letterman or on Johnny Carson's show, I remember watching it and saying, wow, this guy is delusional. Listen to him. Look at him. He doesn't resemble anybody that I know who went to acting school, who has versatility and blah, 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 blah. Well, I was being narrow and arrogant. I didn't appreciate, but he did appreciate his own uniqueness. Arnold Schwarzenegger knew exactly who he was as a product, and man, did he know how to market that product. By the way, can you guess which of his movies made him the most money? Don't cheat. See if you can guess and put the name down below in the comments. And, okay, I'm going to have to tell you. It wasn't Terminator, it wasn't Conan the Barbarian, or any of those types of movies. It was the movie Twins, the comedy that he did with Danny DeVito, directed by Jason Reitman. And why do you think he made so much money? Because Arnold has always been a brilliant businessman. You see, what he did is he went to the producers and said, don't pay me a salary. In fact, what I want from you is a percentage of the profits. If the film makes money, I'll get paid a good amount. If it doesn't, I won't. How could they say no to that? In the contract, I believe that the breakdown was that he and Jason Reitman and Danny DeVito would get 45% of the profits. Well, the box office on that film went through the roof, and Mr. Schwarzenegger, that was his biggest payday, acting as a business. I want to ask you this. When you're worried about, will they like me? What if you decided to become an actor and you had an accent as thick as Arnold's? Would you be self-conscious about it? Would you be afraid that people are going to laugh at you? And would you definitely be thinking, hey, this is an obstacle, I've got to get rid of this accent? Well, Arnold owned it all. And that became part of his uniqueness. Who looked like this larger-than-life physical specimen that he is with an Austrian accent? If he had changed it, he probably would not have ever earned as much as he still is earning today. And he's a wonderful, intelligent, really funny human being. Now, if you want to learn something interesting about acting, besides watching his movies, go onto YouTube and look up any of the interviews that he's done, like on Johnny Carson and Letterman, especially when he was younger. One of the things that's going to hit you, if you look at it closely, is his body language. And here's what it will teach you. The man is so at home and at ease in his own skin. He knows who he is, and the camera loves that. You can't take your eyes off of him. Learn that, and you have learned something that could earn you millions of dollars in the acting business. Okay, so you're thinking, great, Louis, you're talking about all of these exceptional figures, you know, The Rock and Schwarzenegger. How does it apply to me? This is what I want you to take away from this video. Think about the things that you've learned here and then really get clear. You may think you know what you want, but does your behavior reflect it? Have you really accepted acting as a business? By accepted, I mean, are you totally comfortable with everything that it entails? The typecasting, the not knowing when you're going to get your next gig, all of the factors, why somebody gets a role and you don't, and you think you're better. If any of those things still upset you, you haven't accepted 100% that this is an impersonal business. So if you decide that you want acting as a business, you want to be a celebrity, and it's more important to you than being an artist, and by the way, no judgment on that. The only thing that's important is that you know what you want. If you've decided that you'd rather be a celebrity, you want fame more than you want artistic expression, and there's nothing wrong with that, then concentrate on these things. Learn and embrace your type. Market yourself to maximize the number of roles that you get as that type. Also, related to that, do whatever you have to do to modify your look, to cultivate the look that you know, that you've decided the marketplace really wants and that you can project to the camera, and really get good at networking and meeting the right people. That would be pursuing acting as a business. But if you discover that really deep down in your heart, you're more interested in being a serious actor or an artist with a tremendous amount of range, then concentrate on study, taking as many great acting classes as you can. Also, do a lot of theater. Challenge yourself by working on stage. Nothing like developing your real acting artistry. And related to that, start to seek out those roles that have nothing to do with your type, especially in the theater. Roles that, when you read the part in a play, sets you on fire. The character expresses something that you're dying to express as a human being. Go for that. And hey, you never know. Perhaps by pursuing the artistic goal, the business may find you and fall in love with you anyway. But what's really most important is to find out what it is that you want and use what you learned in this video to do that. If you got value from this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, do it now and give the video a thumbs up. I'm going to put, oh, by the way, I'm going to put a link below, and you're also going to see it come up soon on the screen, to another video that I recently did called The Big Acting Lies. Watch that, because it's certainly related to what I'm teaching you in this particular video. It's a great supplement to this one. You'll also find a link below to my latest online course, Self-Taping Mastery. Definitely check it out. Self-taping is here to stay. And this course gives you everything to not only teach you how to do dynamite self-tapes, but it's going to take a lot of the guesswork out, save you time, headaches, and money. And with that, always remember that whenever you have a script in your hand, especially at auditions, the words, the lines are not the most important things. They are not the things that are going to sell your performance. What will sell your performance is what you bring to the life between the lines and below the lines, the subtext. That is your unique contribution. And when you get that, you'll have the freedom to know that if you forget a line, no big deal. Fill the moment truthfully, and you can still shine in any audition. Go out and book that next dream role.